Hello and welcome to my talk for today. It's good to have you here. Kermit the Frog had a saying, "It's not easy being green." I imagine that for many of us, we might say, "It's not easy being isolated. It's not easy being virtual. It's not easy missing our family." We can all add what it's not easy being during these uncertain days. Last week I received a box of old photographs which had been in storage in the UK for over 20 years. Many of them were from the late 1970s and included pictures from one of the first beach missions I ever participated in as a volunteer for Church Army. Apart from hardly recognizing the dark-haired skinny guy who appeared in many of the shots, I also had the sense of wanting to go back there. See, then I was still living at home with my parents, university was over a year away, and through my rose-tinted spectacles, life seemed much easier. At about the same time as the box arrived, we began to watch a TV series from about 2005 called Life on Mars. It follows the life of a police officer in Britain who had an accident which caused a major brain injury. Whilst in a coma, the character was transported back to 1973. He remained the same age as he was in the 2000s and is still a serving policeman. But the ways of doing things are very different. Apart from anything else, there are no cell phones and the whole cityscape is different. What these programs reminded me of was the struggle that it was for people in the UK back then. The traditional industries were beginning to decline rapidly. Even the newer ones, such as car manufacturing, were also on the slide. There were strikes almost every week, and in the winter of 1973, the government had to impose power outages because of a coal shortage. We tend to remember the good things of the past rather than the difficult ones. Someday, 2020 will be the past, and it will be someone's good old days. I know that's hard to believe. As we live through this time, what might be one of the things that God is trying to communicate to us? God's track record tells us that we are to look forward for hope, not backwards. In Genesis 12, the calamities of the previous 11 chapters end with God calling Abraham, and he makes him a promise that he will be a great nation, and also the promise of a land. It's so far in the future, he'll never really see it. Elsewhere, God brings the people out of Egypt and promises to take them to that land. The prophets begin to envisage a new place where everyone will have enough. Jesus points to a new heaven and a new earth. It's not easy living in the place we do now, with its restrictions and limitations. Yet if we trust God, we can know hope for the future. Not necessarily the future we hope for, but one where the promises of God are fulfilled. Once again, thank you for being here with me today. I trust that your preparations for Christmas are going well. So, God bless and stay safe.